You guys ever get caught cheating and then your only response is, I feel very bad. I feel something. And you know what that is? Bad. Olympic champion after testing positive. His response is, I feel very bad. Very bad. She's now suspended. Oops. Not gonna lie. Fuck you, man. If I met that chick, I'd punch her in the teeth. I don't give a damn. How do these guys keep on getting caught? What is happening? Am I the only person who cares? This is what I do to this chick. No, not that. Come on. I do this. I put her in a chamber with a bear with just her ski poles, and then she'd have to negotiate it for herself. There was this thing that came out just recently. I got to look this up. By the way, fucking what would you do? What would you do if this bear was up on you? Okay, hold on. Chinese politician put to death for stealing. Yeah, this guy right here, former agricultural minister, is getting put to death for stealing $36.2 billion. Now that's cash, but athletics, that doesn't come back. So I wish I could get a picture of this guy, but I think that's pretty fair. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be able to just slide into the enhanced games like this chick. So, fuck you, man. Also, you guys want to know something super disappointing? There's another show called Jock by Caleb Allen. These guys look like bums. I'm not going to lie. But then look at this one, dude. Hold on. This one's the one that broke my heart. I don't know what the fuck's these guys deal, but look at their episodes. Gender liberation in sports. Gender and strength sports. Women's sports. College sport journey. Gender concussions. Trans inclusion. I'm not going to lie. Probably not going to listen to it. Not that I don't think that those things are somewhat a topic for 5 seconds, but 5 episodes. How are we on the same page on this? Right? You guys got to help me out. So, like, if you look up our show, we don't like, hold on. Hunter McIntyre podcast. Let's see here. Here at Party Sports. You guys aren't helping us out a lot. You could go on there and like it. We've got 89 compared to what we were just looking at. We have 89 likes on here. What do these guys got? Fuck, they're not far behind us. They've got 5, 11. So I'm not going to lie. One of you guys going to step up to the plate and help me out here. Okay? These gas station glasses don't buy themselves. But we got to right that wrong, guys. Like, I need you to put a little P's on the B. I need you to put some points on the board and help me out here. I'm cracked out on sugar right now. Honestly, Tito, do you want to tell them why we don't have any YouTube videos lately? We're kind of in this weird position right now where we just finished the Crest Hooch 127, which we're going to talk about, and we're making a documentary, and we're trying to make like really high quality versions of like this story to set the Murph world record. And like, I want to make sure that we actually present something to you guys that is not just like another, we've been having this really hard thing of just like, are we just like another bro working out with a look at me channel? Like, you ever get into that? Because there's a lot of fucking dudes out there that are just doing that, man. And it sucks. Like, I ain't in that lane, boys. By the way, boys make noise. No girls on the show. Let's go. But this one right here, if you guys pay attention, this one right here, the Murph Trip episode, Training 1, 41,000 views. Thanks for tuning in. But we're trying to tell a story here and also make it informative. Actually, The base show is tuning in, being a little bit fucking negative because nobody goes to your show. You have to watch mine. I just think that a lot of these YouTube channels are just glorified, continuations of their Instagram. We are trying to actually, what would it be like to really document every single rep and all the stages setting a world record? So we're taking some time here. Base show, thanks for tuning in and saying all that stuff. Ladies, get out. Not going to lie. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for stepping up to the plate. Alana backing herself out of the show. But let's go over here. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. We charge, by the way, the Crest Suits 1Z7 is not a race. It's an experience. These people are charging for an experience $5,000 to walk up and down a hill per person. What the hell are we doing wrong? By the way, I don't know which one of you guys has $5,000 in your checking account. Based off of the people that are in the comments, none of y'all, especially this guy named Daily Graham, who pretends to be a doctor. But the fuck? Like, who are these people that are spending $5,295 on going up and down a hill? And then, by the way, you get to get back down on the ski lift through the gondola. I just want you guys to know right now, if you go to Killington, Vermont in the summertime, where I used to train, you can do that for free and do it on your own. But I guess at the end of this, you do get a t-shirt. So, Grayson, you don't have any money. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know, just recently, China's selling off all their Bitcoins and buying gold. So if you guys want to pay attention to what's actually going on in the world, you should probably start buying gold. If you guys want to potentially save your ass, because the whole economy is about to tank. Whoops, this is not a finance show. It's about fitness. This guy right here. It's weird that I'm watching Hunter's videos about 6 to 7 hours a week on a row, or I'm watching the same video over and over again. I like that about you. And that makes you a creep, but the good kind. The good kind. But back to what we were saying, I was kind of researching. If you go to like one of the most iconic races in the world, which is the Barclay, you don't even have to pay to get in. Like, you have to like give socks. You have to do weird shit. So in my mind, you either have to charge like a ludicrous amount of money or make it free. But the cool thing is, if you make it free, then you don't have to give these people anything, meaning that the next time we have the Crest Hooch 127, I might change up the course and make it more difficult on you guys and give you much less in return. But being that I'm here today at such a late hour, I basically just kind of decided that I know that I'm not going to see you guys for a while. So I decided to step in and just do a show because I missed you guys. And I'm going to be gone for a while. Ryan Theory on the show. Love you, brother. Miss you. This made me think. This has nothing to do with athletics. Check this out. This is a bridge of ants, by the way. They formed a bridge, as you can see right now, going across the water. And they're using each other as friends, as a vessel to travel through time and space. Yet, California has not been able to make a high-speed rail over the past 10 years and billions of dollars. I know that doesn't really have much to do with it, but it makes me feel like this pig right here. Just kind of fucked. It's a little disappointed with my whole situation here. But I know that had nothing to do with fitness. But I am going to go back to some records. Oh, by the way, this is an interesting subject that I learned about a long time ago. A lot of people think that the world of sports is really, really rigged by doping, but a lot of people don't know this. The Chinese have been gene doping for a long time. So this is the story of Yao Ming, the basketball player. They forced the two tallest people in China to have a child, and they made Yao Ming, which is insane. Like, what's his name? Yao Ming. Okay. Stats on Yao Ming. Let's just see here. Height. 7'6". The United States isn't willing to do this. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. Russia's going to be able to compete in the Olympics. They're competing in the 2026 Olympics, but they're not allowed to compete. They're competing under a neutral flag. And if you guys think that that's going to stop them from absolutely destroying the United States and every other country, you're dead wrong. These guys have been doing gene doping and have been doing, government-funded programs where people are basically incentivized to use their capabilities to make super children. And now they don't even have to have these guys make love anymore. You can just do it through kind of artificial insemination. But I am stoked, absolutely stoked to see what kind of shit that they bring to the 2026 Olympics. A lot of people don't know about this, but there was this guy who used to compete against Bjorn Diali. Bjorn Diali. What the fuck kind of country is this guy from? Greatest Russian competition. It might have been this guy right here. The Vladimir Smirnov. There was this one guy, I got to get his information. He basically was like this Russian king that would just destroy people when he decided to show up. Like Bjorn Diali is considered the greatest cross-country skier of all time, but Russia made this one super soldier. And they're coming back. They might cheat. They might compete under a different flag, but they're coming back. Like I just went, if I go into Amazon, I could show you guys the books that I buy. Like I don't buy books from the United States anymore when it comes to exercise science. I haven't been buying books from the United States for a long time because the Russians all have PhDs in the sports that we're trying to study. Meanwhile, you guys who are tuning into this have CrossFit L1s. It took you 4 hours of sitting in a chair in front of a person who used to be a personal trainer for the past 6 months, decided to educate you a little bit. If you guys really want to find out the best exercise scientists in the world, Russia, China. You guys are missing out. The Russians, women, and extra gear on them. Sometimes with peptides. Russians are ahead of their decade. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to know about peptides, let's just look at this. What is his name? Charles Poliquin. Peptides. 2017. What the hell is his name? Tim Ferriss podcast. So this is back in 2016. Charles Poliquin returns. If you guys want to know, Charles Poliquin, who is the greatest strength and conditioning coach in Olympic history, if you guys want to go listen to a podcast, him talking about peptides back in 2016 means that the guy was probably working with peptides for probably 3 to 5 years earlier. So maybe by 2010, these guys were using peptides. And now, like, I had literally a guy reach out to me last night to try to be part of his peptide MLM, and it's everywhere. But we're 15 years too late. The good competitors, the really, really stacked up ones, have been using this stuff for a long time. I've had herpes free from 20. That's pretty solid, dude. I like that about you. I don't know if I want to talk about that subject. Oh, new world record in the 50K. Uncle Kunkel used to brag about being able to set this, but never had the guts. But this guy right here, he passed the marathon mark at 2:11. His name's Albertson. CJ Albertson ran a 50K in 2038, which is devastating, by the way. And he doesn't even look tired. The fastest official ratified time ever. By the way, we're going to talk about the definition of ratifying records. when it comes to high rocks in a few minutes. The result came from Ruth Anderson Memorial Endurance Run, a looped course certified for record purposes. Albertson ran an average of 3:10 per kilometer, 5:06 mile. And he runs 8-kilometer past the marathon record, running through it at 2:11 and kept on pressing. So the previous record was by Stephen Makoka. Who knows? With a 2:40, but the guy broke it by about 90 seconds. Yeah, this is pretty insane. Yeah, that's pretty insane. I don't know if you guys remember paying attention to the record that they broke not too long ago in the 100K. This one's interesting. 100K world record, Adidas. Oh, interesting. He became the first runner to break 6 hours. These guys were out there just doing some insane stuff. There was a guy named Chase a part of it. So this guy right here, the Lithuanian guy, Alexander Sorokin, was such a beast. And this guy, Charlie Lawrence from the United States, he was only shortly there afterwards. But this is an insane record to go after. But I'm not going to lie. These kind of records are kind of getting soft in my book just because of the shoes that these guys are wearing. And in my mind, I don't know. Are we getting better or is science just getting better? Like I was working out with the founders of the feed yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe the day before. Went for a big mountain run. And this guy used to work in the Tour de France, worked with all these incredible athletes. And I was talking to him. I was like, dude, like, are these guys in the Tour de France getting better? Like, how much harder? Like, how could we quantify how much harder it was to do the Tour de France back in the day? And the challenge that was really just, it didn't come down to these guys getting better. It's just the nutrition. Like when Lance Armstrong was doing the Tour de France back in the day, they didn't have the nutrition capabilities they had now. So like the horsepower, it'd just be like having a better fuel pump, more efficient fuel so that it burned cleaner, all that kind of stuff. So it is really interesting to see if athletes are getting that much better or if it's just the capability of giving them gas has changed. It's weird. Kunkel is gone, but not forgotten. I don't think you guys know about Kunkel. I'll try to find him real quick. He is a freaking weirdo. Anthony Kunkel. I don't even know if you can find him on Instagram because he's such a random person. All right. I'll share the screen. Now, when I first met this guy, I didn't know enough about him, and I definitely was weirded out by him massively. Like, he's doing some weird shit. Like, I don't even know what this is over here, but he's clearly just sitting in the dirt, picking his toes, being a weirdo. Very into, like, pseudo interesting science. He loves the David Weck methods where he's just doing weird shit, where he's rotating a ton. But he's a phenomenal athlete, but uses really, really weird science to get improvements. Like, he's one of these guys who's into ketones. He came over to my house and was trying to get me to eat these keto bricks, which was basically like diarrhea that had been put in the oven and then cast ironed and to the point where it was cooked into food. I don't know whatever kind of weird shit he's doing to this girl right here, but as you can see, it's gypsy magic. And I won't play this game. But this was one of the better 50K runners in the United States at one point, and he uses all of these weird methods, as you can see. Like, clearly, he could be in a gym right now, but he's on the side of the road doing jump rope. And he used it to do some pretty substantial things. Got some weird-looking friends, as you can see. But if you guys want to research somebody who's got the weirdest opinions on sports, performance, strength, and conditioning, Uncle Kunkel has got to be top of the list. Like, you can see he's a little bit shredded and stuff, but it gets weird. I mean, the dude is one of those kind of people that would like transfer shit into his butt from another person to get a more active gut biome. I know you guys probably don't want to hear this, but you asked. So I don't necessarily believe in the flow of things. What I'm recognizing more so than ever is that we may or may not actually be maybe we're training a ton, but we're not gathering everything that we can when it comes to actually taking action. So being reactive, responsive, and reflexive towards your athletic sport is so important. Like muscle mass, like you look at this guy right here. This is just a Olympian right here that I was watching and what he eats in a day. Like you'd think for sure that these guys, if you look at the size of his body, like he's actually pretty gosh darn skinny. I mean, he's gigantic, but he's pretty skinny. And you'd think that size and force production for doing things like 2K would matter, but these guys get so incredibly efficient at not only just range of motion, but response and like the reflection and response of just getting into the hole and bouncing back out and then recoiling back. That's what I'm kind of getting more interested into in sport. Those flow things, I don't think they're necessary. It's bullshit. But if you can use your kinetic chain, like one of the most interesting people was this guy right here changed the entire game when it came to javelin, which is probably like the most insane display of power that you could possibly do as an athlete. And like if you look at him, he's not particularly large. You know, he would just look like a guy who like works at a bodega. You know, nothing crazy. The least athletic athlete you've ever seen kind of guy. No offense, Jan, like you've been the cover of my computer many years. Before him was a guy who helped coach me. His name was Tom Petranoff. This guy right here was such a muscle house that he could chuck a baseball outside of a stadium. So this guy used muscle. Like, look at that. Look at that quadricep, baby. Where the other guy was using reflective, like reflex, kinetic chain. This guy was a bulky bastard. Super savage. World record holder. And then Tom Petranoff smoked it. You know, he created the turbo jab, all these kind of things. It might be something for you guys to all look at. Maybe you guys are training too hard and you're not being able to get any better because you've maxed out the potential of your energy systems, but maybe you don't necessarily need to use your energy systems. Maybe you need to be able to use the body's capability to recoil and explode. Just like this bull beating the shit out of this guy. I still get caught up in this where, you know, I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but what I really like to see here is this bull has the chance to get away, set himself free. But if you pay attention for a little bit longer, he's going out of his way just to whoop the shit out of this guy. Look at this. Stomps him. What's that? He's coming back around. And I've rode a bull before. That rotation that dude just made right there, fuck this dude up too. Happens within seconds. Milliseconds. Disappointing. Let's see here. You know, this is interesting. This guy named Coach Scott Johnson is getting massive traction right now for coaching Tom Evans and Ruth Cross, the UTMB winners. What were his moves? Weighted hiking, sled drags, pulls, weighted high rep movements to build fatigue resistance. Now, this is really interesting. I did a run called the Telluride Mountain Run, and I was top 5 against a lot of really insanely and talented ultra runners. And I almost did 0 volume, but I was doing an insane amount of sled work and weighted hikes. And It's something that I think a lot of people just don't understand, which is just kind of rigidity and a little bit of strength over high repetition. Like I'm starting to do Murph training, and I've been doing insane amounts of Murph training, really, really, really high repetition. And I'm not doing almost any strength training. I'm talking about 0 to none. This is a video of me, and I've been doing this for 2 years using this super, super high power, pull machine. I'm pulling with so much power. I set a record for myself. You can see I'm ripping the machine out of the ground. And sometimes just doing those really, really high repetition movements with 10% of your body weight on you way outperforms the strength training and the other shit and makes you just rigid and tough. And I'm also setting records in my runs right now, which is insane. And you know who really taught me a ton about weight vest training? Hobie Call. Hobie Call was the guy who was probably the greatest OCR athlete in history. And he would use weight vest training all the time to improve the shit out of his performance. And he whooped the piss out of us. Dude was a super freak. Something to pay attention to, guys. How'd you get so quiet all of a sudden? You guys are boring. Let me see here. I'm not going to lie. I fucking love this. So I've got nothing to hide anymore. At the Hypercon games, the first event, you guys have to chop through a tree. And I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to really chop into a tree, but look at the guy who's the champion of this sport. You don't got a body like this, bro. Look at that face right there. You wish you had the physique of this walrus man. So this is a Tasmanian, a little island off of Australia, who's the greatest wood chopper in history. It takes a shit ton of strength, core, hand-eye coordination to get through a piece of wood, especially the pieces of wood that we're going to give you guys. And I'm obsessed with it. Like, you guys know I like to chop wood. So I've been watching a lot of like wood chopping videos lately, not the ones that are kind of these erotica videos of some dude in a tank top, like greasing his body up and then chopping wood afterwards, because we don't do that when we chop wood. You got to go in there bare chested. But man, if you guys want a super savage workout, look at this body. Lawrence Stallwood's kind of got this body. But this guy right here, he gets through a piece of wood like a whop. No problem. I think all you guys should try to chop a little bit more wood, or just get a sledgehammer and beat the shit out of a tire. 3 miles times 10. Thank you. Say no more. I don't know what you're talking about. You're running 800s along. Will Rogers? Who the hell is that? Yeah, this is going to be a super sick event. What's your hockey team? I don't fucking watch hockey, dude. This is insane also. 115. I have to take a second here. Okay. KG to no. What is this? 253 pounds. Wait. Do we lose it? Shit. We lost it. Guys, I need your help. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, right here. This dude right here for a triple is pulling a 253. In my mind, I think this is so much cooler than watching a fat guy pick up a fat bar. Like, that's insane. 253 pounds. This guy probably has the body of a toddler. He's probably only 4.5 feet tall, but he's still a freak. I pulled 132 for a 1. So this guy's almost double that weight for a triple. Dead stop, too. It says right here, I almost ruined the set. Before important sets, I usually spend 8 to 10 minutes on mental preparation to get into a perfect energetic state of mind. I was completely ready to do the set when I realized I had poor grip with the plates because of my legs were sweaty. Instead of ignoring it, because it's usually not a problem for me, I went to put magnesium on my legs. The whole preparation was out, and I had to focus again. But the right moment was gone. I could have done this set better. Strength is on the peak, is on a peak that I've ever had. Good lesson for me. You guys aren't strength training like that. You guys aren't in such dedication that you're spending 8 to 10 minutes getting into the fucking zone. I was running with a guy today. Really fit guy. He wants to go to the Olympics for what is it called? Triathlon. He's trying to get a 28-minute 10K on the track. Like, he's a beast. Good guy. We were doing 200s. He was talking to me, and he was just saying, we were talking about the record of this kid. Where is it? Hayden Wild. Where are you? Hayden Wild. So these guys would be competitively in the same category. This guy ran a 55-58, which is insane. And 306 average after doing all the other shit you'd have to do in a triathlon. And he was trying to tell me, this guy, he's like, maybe his ego is his problem. And I was like, listen, dude, at that level, it's 90% mental, 10% fitness. That other video I just showed you guys, this dude was locked in for 8 to 10 minutes so that he could do 3 reps on the bar. If you meet somebody like Hayden Wild and he says he's going to go out and drop a fast time and you think it's ludicrous, that's what the whole fucking point of it is. He is an insane person in his head. And that's the only reason why we know his name. He's come top 3 at the Olympics twice. And yeah, maybe he overpaces it, but if he didn't have that insane belief in himself, he wouldn't even be part of the conversation. I think that's what so many of these guys get confused about when you're talking about elite athletics. And I get confused. I get confused by why you guys all talk so much but don't show the fuck up. Dude, keeping it real, I don't think you recognize, I don't stay at home and get myself pampered up like you and film all day long. I'm actually out there doing shit. So my schedule changes. Also, by the way, this isn't like a real show. It's kind of like an ethereal thing that just bounces around in the internet space. I know this has nothing to do with horses, but if this is real and not one of those freaking fake-ass videos, this is a video of a cat beating the shit out of a bear trying to eat a baby. And if you ain't that cat in my life, because I'm that baby often, if you ain't showing up and bodying people for me, you're dead. I don't want you in my life. Shit. I think it's called... Hold on a second. Let's see here. Gosh. Shit, I'm losing the stats. There's something I was just reading about kind of called like the pruning theory. where if you cut a certain amount of people out of your life, you can have like up to like a 400% performance thing. Now, I know these are just like bullshit numbers. But my point is, if you ain't that cat, you're getting cut. Okay? I'm letting you guys know right now. I'm willing to trim the fuck up. I think this is interesting. This right here is a video of Connor Mantz talking to last year's Chicago Marathon winner. So he's pretty decent at what he does. He's better than everybody who's in this chat by a large margin. Now, if you pay attention to what this guy, is this Connor Mantz? It could be. This is before the Chicago Marathon. These guys are all chilling here. And if you look at his plate, there's 10 plus packets of sugar. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys, this is not even before the marathon. This is just a random dinner. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys that sugar is a superfood. Okay? Sugar's a superfood. You guys all have it in your mind that the Liver King or the other charlatan, Brian Johnson, all these optimizers are trying to help you guys out. You're dead wrong. This guy doesn't even have Domino's Sugar as a sponsor. It's just all over his plate. He's housing it in his tea, and he's just ready to beat the living piss out of everybody. But you guys don't have that kind of level of commitment in your attitude. If every single one of you guys increase your sugar intake by 100 grams a day, 100 grams of carbohydrates a day, you can do it through our products like maltodextrin, any of that kind of shit. Sugar intake, maple syrup, honey, carbohydrate powders, and you just decide to go in there and rip it, you guys be way better athletes. But you ain't listening. You ain't got the guts. Dude, I take in more caffeine and sugar than any person that I know, and I'm a rocket ship. You guys are still so far behind because you have these ideologies that make no sense. You know what this is? Gasoline and sugar. I don't give a damn. When you guys decide to pick up on these basic tips right here, you'll unlock your potential. I don't know if I'm interested in that story. Speaking of sugar, Japan has a law that literally limits how fat you can be, known as the Metabo law. I don't know if this is true. I haven't fact checked this. So if it isn't true, somebody verify, please, 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 please. Waistlines over 33.5 inches for men and 35.4 inches for women trigger a mandatory counseling and health check, all aimed at cutting obesity and healthcare costs, and critics are calling it body policing. Yeah, you guys should be policed. If you get to the point where you're husky, you need to be policed. Someone needs to get your shit together. Like, you remember when you were a parent or a kid and your parents like, eat your vegetables before you get dessert? Then all of a sudden you become an adult and all you eat is dessert? You need your parents to come back in, aka Japan with the Metabo law. Yeah, listen, dude. All the Glassman sexuals. What are Glassman sexuals? I don't know what that means. But I think that's pretty solid. Let's just look this up. Metabo law, Japan. In 2008, Japan implemented the Metabo law, combating a rise in obesity. Pioneering legislation mandates the annual waist circumference measurements in adults 40 to 74, routine health checkups, which is pretty crazy. Does that mean you have to go to the doctor all the time? Like, it's amazing to me that we were told to take vaccines, and everyone's like, yeah, cool. But saying like, hey, you should probably keep your fat down. People are like, how dare you? Try to monitor my body. You guys are fucking crazy. Okay, let's see. Fattest countries in the world. Let's see here. Ooh, American Samoa. Shit. Qatar. Chubby bastards. Let's see here. Man, it's dropping down. I don't see Japan anywhere. Well, Malaysia. China. There's no way. Ethiopia's got 1%. Ethiopia's always doing it. Speaking of Ethiopia, there's some doping thing that I got to look at. Hold on a second. I don't know. I know you can't hear anything. It's not worth listening to. Sorry. So sorry. By the way, these are Tito's calves right here. That's insane that those are people's calves. Look at the difference. This is just a study on how quickly your endurance goes down, which I think is interesting. After 6 days, your mitochondrial density goes down by 8%. In 12 days, your VO2 max goes down by 7%. And 10% of your max following that. In 3 months, 16% of your VO2 max goes down, and your enzymes are nearly 40% lower. So I will admit, like, I have done a lot of big off seasons, and this season I did not take as big of an off season, and I kind of just kept on running, and it's made an insanely big difference. Now, it doesn't mean you should train like you do year round, but giving yourself a little bit of a down season makes a huge difference. But seeing how quickly everything drops down, that's painful. That's a big climb out. And I have kept it up. And I'm basically a fire-breathing dragon. Now, I've done a lot of studies and I've done a lot of seasons, and I will say this is the best I have felt in my entire damn life. So I may change my theory on things, even though I've done so much studies on it. It's pretty insane how big of a difference I feel right now. So maybe don't let yourself get out of shape like that pig. I guess we should just talk about this for 2 seconds. Mark Sanchez, old Jets quarterback, got in some insane altercation with a 69-year-old truck driver parked at a hotel loading dock to collect some cooking oil. He's confronted by Sanchez, who claimed the truck couldn't be there, citing the hotel manager, and then proceeded to just beat the shit out of this truck driver and got stabbed. I don't know why people put football players on a pedestal, but it seems like an alarming amount of these guys get in trouble. An alarming amount. Let's just see if the study actually pops up. What are the most crime-ridden professional sports? Let's see if this is it. Professional sports have the most players who... Oof. Wikipedia. God, this would be really fun if someone could just Please bring up a study. Not really getting enough information here to follow up on this, but I'll look it up. I'll get to it. Also, I do want to talk about this. It looks like Austin has built like a velo way for cyclists to train on. That's the most heartfelt, kind thing that I've heard a city do in a long time. Los Angeles is basically Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. I don't know if you guys have seen. Let's look this up. This is exactly what LA looks like when you're riding your bicycle. Like, you roll up to the wrong corner and the likelihood of you getting shot to death, massive. This is me and my boys just holding it down. And we're going up against people like this. We have no safe place to ride. I basically ride with a hammer and a whistle on me at all times to keep all the hooligans off of me. And I can tell you right now, the fact that Austin, Texas did that, I've talked a lot of shit about Austin, Texas. I'm going there next week. It's the kindest thing I've heard of in a long time. I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I'm thoroughly grateful. So, I don't know. Maybe I got to stop being a hater. I don't know why I brought this into the links, but I kind of just appreciate the wildlife just still is undefeated in a lot of these things. I do love this story. The bike path's been there for a while. Live right next to it. Give me some deets on it, Football 48. Who the fuck's Ray Pete? I don't know if I can look that up. I just like the fact that this dude right here, I don't know if you guys knew Diamond Ramon, but this is kind of like the sumo wrestling of Diamond Ramon. And we'll talk about Diamond Ramon next. But this guy born in Prague, in the Czech Republic, basically fell in love with being a sumo wrestler and was just a small guy, barely 220 pounds, and just came in and just started bodying the champions of the sumo wrestling world. And, you know, that's like just like a larger dude in the office space, like not a ton of muscle. Look at him. He's going against Godzilla and just just being an athlete, dude. And I fucking love it. The only other person that I've seen do this is Diamond Ramon. This guy was the sickest. Ramon Decker was the first person to win like the special award that you get in Thailand. He's the first person in history to not be a Thai fighter to get it. The dude was the biggest savage in the market. Like, just murdered people. And his knockouts were so savage. Like, if you guys want to get pumped up and you're going to go get in a bar fight, which I think everyone should, has got to try to watch some of these highlight reels. Look at that thigh kick. Shut your fucking face. Take it. What's your teeth doing there, not on the floor, bitch? Dude, I just want to kick people after watching this guy. I think he's got to be the greatest striker in history as far as excitement goes. Like, boxing these days sucks. This guy right here, he's going to punch you in the face and then kick you when you're on the ground. Damn. Dude, what's your face doing there? Damn. I just love the combinations of Thai fighters. They're just the greatest. If your girlfriend's like, "Hey, what have you been doing in that room? Why are you sweating and grunting in there? Like, what have you been doing?" And she comes in, you should be watching Diamond Ramon videos. Just letting you know right now. You don't need the other stuff. This is what's going to get you through the night. If you want to know what a hard-bodied man is doing, I don't need the other stuff. I just need to know what this freaking TIE fighter is doing, how he's just bodying people. Look at this. Supposedly he was a very shy and humble guy and preferred fishing in quiet streams above anything else. Yeah. I don't think you'd enjoy people after kicking him in the face 10,000 times. Maybe fish are just a little bit more enjoyable. Yeah. I'm letting you guys know right now, you should be watching this dude. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I want to talk about. I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know, man. I don't want to hate on this guy because he's impressed me a bunch of times, but it sounds like Mike Israel has just started getting into plastic surgery, which I think is a bad lane to go down if you're just in the fitness influencing scene. Like, you're already on all the gear, dude. And now, like, a lot of these guys like to shit on people for editing their photos and stuff like that. But then to edit your body permanently so that, I mean, listen, it's probably for emotional shit. But then if you're going to sell on the back end of it all this dieting and shit like that, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, maybe would you consider the fact that your poor design of lifestyle has been the reason why you've been left with all this extra skin and fluff? Like, I don't think the guy necessarily holds on to a low level of body mass on average. And I think it's just a bad thing to do, man. You're just manipulating a bunch of people into this kind of false existence, which is disappointing. You're no longer a hero of mine if you're going to be doing that shit. Dude, we ran out of horse videos. You're just fucking late to the party, Josh. I mean, if I look it up, horse attack videos. It doesn't even show up, dude. It's impossible. The algorithm won't let me look it up. I'm getting shadow banned for being too fucking cool. For informing you guys. All right, well, kind of reached the end of my rope here. And I don't know what else to talk about. You guys are a little bit bland in the comments. I've asked for your help on Jock Talk. I've asked for your help. We do need to overtake those guys. Because if you Google me and Jock Talk, if those guys come up anywhere near the search feed, I'm going to fucking blame you guys. Okay? I've done my part. You guys need to go in and go like and comment whatever you got to do in Spotify and enhance this YouTube channel thing. You guys need to step up to the plate. Okay? I don't know what you're bringing to the table. You come in here and harass me while I'm trying to bring you guys information, and you're letting these other channels in the same category beat us? Have you ever thought about the damage that does to children? Screw you guys. I don't know how I feel about Killing Jordan's recent climb thing. Like, I'm not really as turned on by it. He's done some super cool shit. I don't like the FKT thing unless it's insane. And doing a bunch of 14ers and stuff like that, not into it. Tito, if you're still here, this guy Robert Wilbutt wants to know if there's a YouTube coming out. Tito has been holding back, dude. He's been holding back. He's not been sharing with the community. He doesn't want anybody to enjoy themselves. He's harboring videos. We have tons of them. He just doesn't want to share. And I think to myself, I'm like, these people need to be saved because the rest of the YouTube channels suck. You ever thought about that, Teets? You ever thought about your responsibility and how you're putting pressure and damaging people's lives? And now what they have to do is they need to just go to all these other shitty YouTube pages. Tito doesn't take any accountability for what he could do to this world. He could empower people. He could support children growing in the right direction instead of the wrong direction. See, this Mexican guy right here says he needs more content. All right, boys and girls, here's the update. I'm leaving for a while. I got to. I'm going to Austin, Texas, which I don't necessarily trust. You guys know how I feel about Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, in short, is the land of charlatans. It's people that I know down there have gone there to recreate their lives because they did weird shit where they used to live. And now they're down there and they're all playing this game of smoke and mirrors, trying to create new versions of themselves. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like people that live in World of Warcraft because their lives suck in real life. That's people in Austin, Texas. Then I'm going there for Formula One because I'm a race car driver now. Joseph Newgarden was supposed to join me because he's my good friend, but now I think he's changing and double backing on me because he got some kind of job, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of a low blow. You've got a homie that you've committed to who has a heart of gold, and you're abandoning him. Afterwards, we're going to the Hypercon games. I did tell you guys that we have a wood chopping competition, which is going to be super savage. All these athletes are going to be challenged to the umpteenth degree. Big Daddy has been building events that will cripple the week. I'm very excited about it. It's just going to be as hardcore as possible. It's all mountain lifestyle. It's basically like Survivor School. It's all of the things that I fantasize about all the time. And now all of a sudden you guys decide to fly into my backyard and I'm just going to put you through the hurt locker. And I get to sit on the sidelines chewing bubble gum, drinking Builder. So it's coming. And you know what? Tito's got responsibilities that he's probably not going to live up to. I like the fact that all you guys are in here putting out the word to Tito, letting him know that he has to try harder. Honestly, I don't do run meetups in Austin, Texas, because I don't want to be around a bunch of creeps. Just telling you. There's a lot of guys down there that wear makeup and do that. It's not my bag. It's not my bag. So, yeah, it's not my bag. But if you guys can find me, I will work out with you. But if you can't find me, you're left with the weirdos. And Austin is a really weird place. Thank you. Somebody. But that's it. I'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. Hybrid Club is doing a workout called the Survivor Workout on November 2nd. It's going to be brutal. It's a 1 hour run into a 1 hour full-blown test at the turf. Hour-long hybrid workout put on by yours truly. I'm going to be riding a bicycle for most of it. But if you guys show up, I'll be showing off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Love y'all. Peace. Dude, I don't handle any of that. Just stay in touch with him.